All right, folks, back in action here, continuing our circle vocabulary. Lots of words that we want to get under our belt before we really dive into this chapter. So the next thing that we're going to talk about on our list of words is an arc, okay? And again, I've got my definitions here. So an arc is a portion of the circle. So that goes back to what we were saying on the previous video, is that the circle itself is only this ring. It's not the space inside. So if we're talking about an arc being a portion of the circle, we're just talking about it being a portion of this black ring here. Now it's going to be defined by any two endpoints. So if I just pick any 2 points on the circle, so I've got a point here and a point here, an arc is that portion that connects those two endpoints. Now certainly I could have actually also identified the arc going this direction. I just chose that one in that example. So on our next one, what I'm also going to have to do and fix a few things here, because we had some things not transfer properly when I converted it from my PDF files. So we're going to make some corrections over here on this right-hand side. So you'll notice when we look at this AB, this ABC, and this AB here, these are actually all missing a very important symbol for us. They're missing our arc symbol. So above these, we're going to go ahead and we're going to put like a little arc here. Okay, so I'm going to put a little arc symbol, kind of looks like a frowny face almost, okay? Go ahead and put that on there. That's going to be pretty important for us. It's our key notation in identifying the arcs. All right, now a semicircle arc. So a semicircle is an arc, all right? It is actually part of an arc, but it's in particular going to be an arc whose endpoints are the endpoints of a diameter. So if I imagine, and we'll kind of dot ours in to make it a little bit clear here. So if I have this diameter here, remember the chord that passes through the center, the endpoints of that diameter would be right there and there. So our semicircle can go in either direction. It can either go in this direction or in this direction. And so our semicircle would be, I'm going to pick the top half right there. Now, if I wanted this semicircle to be semicircle AB, I would need the endpoints of this diameter to be A and B. Now, some textbooks name the semicircle with 2 letters, and some textbooks name the semicircle with 3 letters. Our textbook is going to name it with 3 letters. So if we properly want to identify this as arc semicircle ACB, we need to put a little C in between those 2 letters. Just as a heads up though, so I kept this here as the 2 letters, is you will often see it in 2 different notations there, 2 letters and 3 letters. Now, the other two other things that we want to talk about are major arcs and minor arcs. That idea of 2 letters versus 3 letters. So our major arc, okay, is going to be the longest arc that connects 2 endpoints, okay? Now, major arcs have to be bigger than a semicircle, and they will always be named with 3 letters. So the semicircle, where I said you'll often see that in 2 different ways, 2 letters and 3 letters, a major arc always has 3 letters. So if I want to name this arc ABC, I know that this is going to either be 180 degrees, because it could potentially be a semicircle, or it's going to be more than that. Now, I want this one to be major. So I know A and C are going to be the endpoints. So I'm just going to pick 2 points, A and C. And if this is A, B, C, this major arc, since the major arc is the longest way around between those 2 points, it has to go from here to here. So my B has to be somewhere along here. It doesn't matter where, just somewhere. So the major arc is this whole thing right here. An arc being a portion of the circle, so a portion of that ring. Now, if I want a minor arc, AB, the minor arc is going to be the shortest arc connecting the 2 points. They will be smaller than a semicircle, and we will always name them with 2 letters. So if I put 2 points on here, let's say A and B. If we're trying to figure out, hey, is AB talking about this way or this way? The fact that it's 2 letters tells me I need to go the short direction, the short way. because otherwise it would be more than 180 degrees. So AB is talking about that piece right there. Now, the next thing that we're going to do, and I have a little typo on this part, so we're going to fix this typo first. We're going to go ahead and change the name of our circle here. I don't want this circle to be named Circle W. I want this circle to be Circle E. So we're going to get rid of this W here, and we're going to call this Circle E. So make sure you fix that. Okay, that's pretty important for us to fix for this problem. So now, a central angle, some key words here. The central angle is an angle with its vertex on the center. So the vertex of my angle is going to have to be on the center. And then these other parts are really important. Okay, the sides of the angle will contain 2 radii of the circle. So if I want to, for example, draw in central angle, WET, what I need is it to be Circle E. That's why I started with that. Then I'm going to have 2 radii of the circle, and those are going to be W and T. So the sides of my angle are now radii, and the vertex of the angle is the center of the circle. The last thing we're going to talk about on this page are inscribed versus circumscribed. So we are going to need a circle A for this example, so I'm going to draw in a circle A. So I've got my circle A. Now, if I want to inscribe a quadrilateral in the circle, quadrilateral, of course, means four sides, 4 corners, and we're going to put all 4 corners on the circle. So I'm going to pick 4 points. It doesn't matter where I put them. Any 4 points on the circle, and then I'm going to connect those. That's an inscribed quadrilateral because the quadrilateral is inside the circle. But what that also means is that my circle is circumscribed because the circle is outside or around the quadrilateral. So we can flip that idea around. If I want to circumscribe a triangle around the circle, that means that now I want my circle, or I want my triangle to be around the circle or outside of it. So what I'm going to do, and this one takes a little bit of practice. Again, you guys have a straight edge at home, so it'll be a little bit easier for you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to draw in these little tangents. Okay, so if I start drawing in some tangents here, there's another point of tangency to bring back some of our vocabulary from the last page, last video. And I've got my next one. And then I'm just going to extend these until they meet. Again, I don't really have the benefit of a straight edge on this. You've probably got one there at home that you could do. So now I can see that my triangle is around the circle. So that means my triangle has been circumscribed. And now my circle is inscribed because the circle is inside. Okay, so that's all that we've got on that vocabulary. On the next page, we've got just a little bit more, and then you'll be all done with your videos for class.